Hi guys, welcome back and welcome if you're new. I'm Megan from OrganizedLittleLady, and today I am so excited to share with you our kitchen organization. So before we jump into the organization, I just wanted to share a little bit about the transformation that this kitchen has undergone in the last 2.5 years. So when we first moved in, this is what our kitchen looked like. Although it's definitely outdated and not my style, as soon as I saw this kitchen, I fell in love. I saw all the potential that it had, and I loved the island and the window over the sink and just how open and bright it was. So we quickly made a few improvements. We switched out the light fixtures, the hood range. I put some hardware on the cabinets and painted the island. Just doing that made a big difference. And then we went ahead and saved up for some of the larger improvements. And this past year, we were able to finish our kitchen renovation, which included painting the cabinets, getting new countertops, putting in a new backsplash, and tiling the floor. I cannot believe how different our space looks, but I still love it just as much as I did when I first walked in and saw how much potential it had. So without any further ado, let's get started. I'm going to share with you guys how I've organized this kitchen. I'm going to start over here on the right hand side and then just work my way around the kitchen. In this cabinet, I have 2 bins on the top shelves. I am very short, so for items that I need to get down often, I like to put them in bins so I can grab the bin and then rummage through to get what I need. The top bin just holds my KitchenAid manual and then a few other informational pamphlets about the KitchenAid mixer. The next bin just holds all of my KitchenAid attachments, so I can easily grab the bin, grab which attachment I need, and then just put the bin back where it belongs. The bottom shelf of this cabinet holds our sprinkles and candles. So I like using these pull-out containers because it helps take advantage of your vertical space. So the top container, we just hold our solid sprinkles, then we have our mixed sprinkles, and then candles in the bottom. Now we'll move down to the bottom part of this cabinet. In this drawer here, I keep my oven mitts. It's right by the oven, so I can easily grab them before reaching into the oven. In this bottom cabinet here, I keep some of my baking items. So I have my rolling pin, I have some mixer and cake tools, I have some cookie cutters, and then my cookie stamps. In the cabinets above the oven, I have items that we don't use very often and that I don't need to grab often because, again, I'm short, so I cannot access these cabinets very easily. So on the left here, we have this snow cone maker. In the back of that, we have a jalapeno pepper stuffer maker. I have an apple peeler. And over on the right-hand side, we have this hamburger patty maker and then a slider maker. We use the drawer underneath our oven to store some of our baking sheets and our glass cookware. Here in the cabinet on the left-hand side of the stove, on the top-hand shelf, we keep some liquor that we use like when guests come over or to make mixed drinks and whatnot. And then on this shelf here in the middle, I have all of my Gooseberry Patch cookbooks. And then on this bottom shelf, I have all of my measuring cups and a few hot plates. Over here on the counter, I have this little basket, and in it I have my utensils, some dish soap, hand soap, our Alexa, and a plant. Next, I'll move over to this cabinet below our sink. The top-hand drawer on the left side is where we keep our sponges, and then on the right side here, I keep all of my dishwasher tabs. The cabinets under the sink is where I keep a lot of our cleaning products that I use on a regular basis. On the inside of this left-hand door here, I have some command hooks, and on it, I just hang the microfiber cloths that I'm using for that day to wipe down our surfaces. On the left-hand side here underneath the sink, I keep all of the cleaners that I use on a regular basis. So I have my glass cleaner, my all-purpose cleaner, barkeeper's friend, some dish soap, and just some random cleaners back there. In the middle bin, I just keep all of my microfiber. On the right-hand side of the cabinet, I keep my dish soap and hand soap here, and then behind that, I have just some extra sponges and wool pads. Now we'll move over into this part of the kitchen here. In this corner cabinet, I have on top of this Lazy Susan some seasonal dishes. And then in the middle is where I keep my Rubbermaid Brilliance Tupperware. And then on the bottom, we just have some miscellaneous Tupperware. Down here in this corner, I keep my KitchenAid mixer, a Scentsy warmer, a plant, and then this recipe holder. In the bottom cabinet here, we have another corner like lazy Susan thing, and I never know what to keep here. So I have this larger mixing bowl in here. This is actually a baking dish that's my dad's that I need to return to him. And then I just have some miscellaneous things over here. So some popcorn makers, an extra ice tray, and a little extra dish. On the bottom, I keep a lot of glassware. These glasses here I take out and use when we have punch and have guests over, or I use them as stemless wine glasses. And then I just store some extra vases down here also. Now we'll move into these cabinets here. In this cabinet here, we keep the serveware that we use on a regular basis. So we have our dinner plates, our bowls, and then at the top there, I have some serveware that I use when serving a bigger dinner or having guests over. In this cabinet here, we have our glasses that we use on a regular basis. So we have on the top shelf some margarita glasses that I take down when we have guests over. And then in this middle shelf here, we have some extra coffee mugs and some overflow of our drinkware. And then on the bottom here is where we keep the majority of our cups that we use. First middle drawer here on the right hand side, I keep some aprons. In the cabinet below that drawer, we have on this top shelf our colander and then a mixing bowl, and then on the bottom here is where I keep all of my glass mixing. In the drawer next to that on the left is where I keep some of my extra kitchen towels. The cabinet below that is where I store my pots and pans. So on the top here, I used this Dollar Tree plate organizer to hold all of my pot lids. And this works out really well. It keeps them separated and I can find which one I need very easily. And then on the bottom, I just have my pots and pans. The drawer next to that, I have all of my spoon rests and extra coasters. Cabinet below that, I have on this top shelf my cutting boards and then some of my larger pots on the bottom. Over here, I have some smaller drawers. In the top drawer, I keep all of our aluminum foil, wax paper, cling wrap, and zipper bags. The drawer beneath that, I keep all of my trash bags. Under that, I have all of these lids that sort of suction on to plates or bowls. So instead of wrapping up my leftovers with cling wrap, a lot of times I'll just put this over a bowl and that keeps it nice and fresh. Bottom drawer is sort of just a junk drawer. So I have some random tools in there and just like random things that don't necessarily have a home yet, so they get placed in this drawer. Above these cabinets, I have my microwave. Now our kitchen was built with this microwave insert here, which we really don't mind because it does keep it off the countertops. And then I will show you what's in the cabinet above that. In this cabinet, we keep a lot of our souvenir glasses that we've gotten throughout the years, and we don't use these very much at all. So we keep them in this cabinet because this cabinet is not easily accessible. As you can see, I keep my fridge very clutter-free. I don't like a lot of stuff on the fridge. I feel like that can just add a lot of visual clutter, but I do have these two bins on top. In the bin on the left-hand side, I keep all of the Scentsy wax that I'm currently using along with some cotton balls. I use cotton balls to soak up the old wax and then I put new wax in. On the right-hand side, I keep some candles and simmering pots. There is a cabinet behind those two bins, but it is so hard to get to that we actually keep it empty. Over here on this wall, we have our pantry, and on the pantry door, I just keep this menu board with the current week's menu. On the inside of our pantry door, I have this over-the-door organizer that I got from Amazon, and I keep a lot of our baking goods here, along with our spices. To organize all of the contents and food in our pantry, I use these Dollar Tree bins. And I do have a full video showing how I've organized the pantry, and I'll leave that in the description box below. Last but not least is our kitchen island. In the top left-hand drawer is where we keep our silverware, and on the right-hand side is where I keep a lot of our miscellaneous utensils and kitchen gadgets. I use these little bins from the Dollar Tree to organize and separate some of the items so they don't just become like a jumbled mess. In the left-hand side of the cabinet, we have this bin here on the top shelf, and I keep all of my mostly used kitchen gadgets in here. So I have this food chopper that one of my amazing subscribers sent to me. I have the plug to my skillet, We have this hand mixer and a few other items. On the bottom of that shelf, I have our Instant Pot over here, and then in the middle is where I keep all of our serving platters. On the top shelf of the right-hand sided cabinet, I keep my crock pot and my toaster oven, and I just pull them out whenever I'm using them. Below that, we keep our cast iron skillet and our large grill skillet. So that's a look at how we have organized our kitchen. I keep my countertops pretty clutter-free so that way I can use it as a workspace. And we try not to put too much stuff in the cabinets so that way we have room for everything that we do use on a regular basis. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will talk to you next time. Bye guys.